Welcome to Possible 2025. You know, Katie has got so much energy. She emceed our event last year, and I wanted Rich Petley up here to kind of buffer me, so it looked as if I was kind of exciting when I came out on stage, but here we go. So, what an exciting time. The technology industry is completely changing. You're all facing an entirely new class of challenges with the advent of agentic AI. And if you want to get access to budget for innovation, you're going to have to think about putting things in the context of AI. And that's what we're going to help you do over the next couple of days. Every CEO I speak with, every CIO, every organization around the world is thinking about how they can embrace agentic AI to not only transform their organizations, but to transform entire industries. So at this event today, we're going to demonstrate to you how Teradata technology can make that real. I've never been so excited about the potential for the Teradata platform to deliver real business outcomes and value, and we're going to demonstrate that to you. We're going to show you that technology in action. Because this conference is all about execution. It's not just about slideware or vague promises. We're actually going to show you our technology in action and how you can generate real business outcomes. Because today we're living in what I'd call the AI paradox. You know, AI is driving the most incredible innovation arc in history, but it's also driving a deployment crisis. And perhaps some of you are feeling that. You know, when you think about the pace of change, 3 years ago, we were standing up, and ChatGPT was just coming on the scene. Less than a year ago, every board in the world were asking their management teams how they were going to deploy Gen AI, and that's pivoted even more recently to agentic AI. I think the pivot that you're going to see from Teradata this year is even more fundamental than the pivot we announced when we were focusing on being cloud first. It's a really exciting time. And Teradata is reinventing itself, and we want to help all of you reinvent the roles that you can play inside your organizations. Because here's the thing, here's the paradox. Although organizations are spending more and more on AI and AI initiatives, 92% of enterprises, according to McKinsey, are increasing their investments in AI. That's where all the budget is going to inside your organizations. It's going to create a fantastic technology marketplace. Predictions $390 billion this year and $1.8 trillion by 2030. And that's where your spend is going. You are all creating this industry and technology, but only 1% of enterprises around the world would rate themselves as having AI maturity. And that means that 99% of companies around the world still have some work to do. And they're not seeing that material value from AI. And that's the paradox. But there's good news here. Because the gap between winners and laggards from an AI perspective is starting to broaden. And if we can help you become a winner with AI, it will radically transform the value that you're adding to your enterprise. When we think about that value, we actually worked with a bank in the UK, and we developed with them and worked with them some very specific actions that they could take to generate real business value. And they came up working with us with a number of 1.4 billion pounds worth of value that they believed that they could generate by the fourth quarter of 2027. For those of you that aren't from the UK, 1.4 billion pounds is about $1.8 billion. So how did they think they were going to do that? Well, they thought about 220 million pounds of value would come from augmented customer service, changing that customer experience around interacting with the bank. We thought 740 million pounds worth of value, over half of the value identified, would come from augmented product recommendations. They also thought about how AI was going to transform their fraud anomaly detection, and they thought they could probably generate conservatively about 40 million pounds worth of value from that. And then finally, about 20 million pounds of value from proactively addressing customer complaints. The transformation of this organization from a customer experience perspective is something that Teradata is working proactively with them to deliver real time. And we're going to take you through, as we go through the next couple of days, our customer intelligence framework, which gives a point of view of how you can actually implement these technologies and how we can help you enable your organization for the era of AI. You know, something that might not surprise you, we were talking to some of the industry analysts, and if you see anybody with a green lanyard on that's walking around, they're industry analysts, industry technology experts. So please ask them questions. They like nothing more than giving some answers to our customers. So it would be great if you did that. But the discussion was very much about the Teradata technology that's been built from the ground up 45 years ago. The patents that make that technology relevant are incredibly important in this era of AI. Our massively parallel architectures, enabling scale-out solutions at an enterprise scale. Mixed query workloads, when you think about agents and agentic AI generating queries, workload management, query optimization. You know, when I think about AI solutions, there's three things. It has to be trusted, it has to be ethical in terms of its operation, and it has to be sustainable. And those things come together with Teradata's features and capabilities so that we can help you deliver those kind of solutions today. Teradata can deliver that trusted data, those ethical solutions, and at a scale and a cost point better than anybody else in the industry. And that unlocks the real business value. I've got a quote here from Gartner, and we are very happy that they share our perspective. Because if we think about what's really essential for agentic AI to be real, it's about ensuring that you can integrate agentic frameworks together, drive meaningful action at enterprise scale, and also do it in a choice. I was talking yesterday about one of the most important things in terms of AI deployment and building a fantastic data foundation to support that AI deployment is enabling our customers with choice. If you want to do it on-prem, do it on-prem. If you want to do it in the cloud, you can deploy in the cloud. If you want to deploy our technologies in a hybrid architecture, well, we're doing that for customers right now. And inside these agentic AI solutions, cost per query becomes absolutely key. Because if you think about the orders of magnitude, when a human is interacting with a data platform, you know, it's one query per minute, let's say. Then when a BI tool is interacting with the data platform, it may be 5x that. But these AI solutions are going to drive even more queries into your data platform. And some of the native cloud solutions, the architectures that they've deployed in terms of scale-out technology, get incredibly expensive, especially when even a basic AI query probably generates about 10 times the number of queries a human does at any time. And then our Chief Product Officer, Samit, he often says that these agentic AI applications, they never sleep. It's going to be another order of magnitude increase in the amount of queries these technologies are generating so that they can have the context around the data to actually have the solutions. So when you think about it, that high volume, high levels of concurrency, what's the best platform in the world to solve that? The Teradata platform and our massively parallel architecture. And we can do it economically and at scale, and that's something that we've done for years. It's a really exciting time in the IT industry. The entire architecture of SaaS applications is starting to change. When you think about it, a SaaS application is just a database, a user interface, maybe some workflows, and some analytics. Well, you can decompose all of that using agentic AI. So we'll talk about the new framework for agentic AI and where Teradata's place is in that agentic AI framework. We are all about enabling the knowledge layer inside that architecture. Because without a fundamental data platform and foundations of good data management and good knowledge management, you're not going to be able to deliver the rest of that stack. And Teradata is singularly focused on driving and delivering that knowledge layer. And we're doing it already today. When I look at how we are executing the workloads that we're delivering, we're driving 25 times faster business outcomes than some of our competitors. And you're going to hear from some of our customers stand up and talk about that. That's 25 times faster to go from data preparation to a model of a production model in operation inside the customer. When you develop a model inside Teradata, 90% of the models that are developed with Teradata get deployed into production. That's 2 times the industry average. And that's because as we design and deploy models, we think about it in a production construct. We've proven that our platform can be up to 12 times cheaper than our competition in terms of running some of these complex analytical workloads, and we're delivering real return on investment. And we're going to demonstrate all of this to you over the next few days. You're going to hear from some of our great customers and the experiences that they've been having. But let's hear from some of them. Roll the video.
Teradata is the heart of our data solution, where we have organized in a logic way all the information we need to run our campaigns, to know our customers, to take decisions based on both aggregate and disaggregate information.
Now we have better models. We are improving the quality of our models, and we are gaining time. We are gaining speed of processing.
It's a very reliable system. So embedding within Teradata creates that reliability. And because some of these models, clinicians depend on it.
We have more than 1 million queries per day. Teradata and our cloud service provider has made that very easy by solving a lot of the problems that we thought we would have straight from day one.
By having a powerful system such as Teradata, where data is being harmonized, Teradata is helping STC bringing about innovative solutions to our customers.
So just some of the examples. It's going to be a really exciting event. And it's all about realizing the promise of agentic AI. So now that we've set that context, let's look at some of the things that Teradata has been shipping just since the start of this year to help support you from an agentic AI perspective. And these capabilities are available in our platform today. Super exciting. So let's see how we can help you realize the promise of agentic AI. We started at the beginning of the year by launching our Enterprise Vector Store capability. Why is that important? Why is Teradata thinking about Enterprise Vector Store? Well, think about vector processing in an AI solution world. It's all about processing billions of vectors with sub-millisecond response times to make sure that your models are operating as effectively and efficiently as possible. We've improved our model ops and language model ops capabilities, enabling organizations to deploy small language models inside the Teradata infrastructure so that their execution is second to none. Just last month, we announced our MCP server, how to unlock all of the capabilities of the Teradata platform and make it available to agentic AI solutions. And then just last week, 2 weeks ago, we announced Agent Builder. And we're going to demonstrate that technology to you today, something that we're super excited about. We have pivoted Teradata in our investment envelope towards helping you power your organization in the world of agentic AI. It's a super exciting time. You know, when we think about all of these different types of offers, what's important It's the fundamentals that you all understand. Data quality, security, feature management, RAG enablement. All of these come together in the offerings that we're developing and the new offerings that we're going to bring to market. We're super excited about a refresh of our technology platform, which will be happening next year, where we embed GPU capabilities right into our frames and technology architecture. But we started on that journey today. It represents a real evolution for the company to respond to the opportunity that's in front of all of us. You know, when I think about that evolution of the company, we started Teradata 1.0 45 years ago, building the best enterprise data warehouse in the world. But that wasn't all we did, because what we really used that enterprise data warehouse to do was solve business problems. And that's where AI becomes critical. AI shouldn't be a science project inside your organization. It should be targeted to solve real business problems. And our knowledge of industry data models, putting context around data, is second to none. Our knowledge of the use cases of how you all can utilize Teradata technology to differentiate your organization is second to none. Then we moved into an era of Teradata 2.0, building an open and connected data platform for enterprise-scale analytics. These two things, Teradata 1.0 and 2.0, set the technology foundation that you need in the world of AI. Because as we look at Teradata 3.0, the future for us lies in moving forward and enabling you to deliver a knowledge platform for your autonomous enterprise and delivering agentic AI solutions. What do we mean by knowledge platform? Well, we mean by taking the standards of our data platform, maybe across clouds, and maybe on-premise, and maybe in a hybrid construct, but adding context to that so that AI solutions can utilize that data as effectively and efficiently as possible, so that you can use the advanced capabilities and analytics capabilities of Teradata to solve real business problems. And we believe that that autonomous AI, powered by that knowledge platform, will set a differentiation for all of you as you move forward in your AI journey and looking to deliver the business outcomes that you all need. Because agentic AI isn't just about deploying a small solution or a chat agent. It's really all about ensuring that you can have an agent reason, plan, and act. And we are putting in place solutions that deliver that just today. It's not about just automating tasks. It's about driving and delivering entire business processes on a reliable basis. Let me talk about what that looks like in practice and some of the customers that we've worked with. So in financial services, we have AI agents automatically analyzing customer financial behavior, macro environment, complex financial products that they may be interested in, all whilst respecting regulatory compliance and building deeper customer relationships. This is generating real value for a financial services organization, where they're able to handle 40% of routine tasks using agentic AI. Another exciting area is healthcare, and we'll talk about some examples of that as we go through the conference over the next couple of days. But this is making a real difference to patient outcomes. AI agents are combining that patient data with real-time monitoring, treatment outcomes, observations from providers. And what we're seeing with that particular organization is a 25 to 30% reduction in readmissions and getting better patient outcomes, using agentic AI to spot patterns in the data that doctors or practitioners might miss. Exciting times. And then in retail, probably some use cases that you know about and experience every day. AI agents reviewing social media sentiment, looking at customer comments, customer reviews, purchase histories, setting up recommendation engines that drive 35 to 40% better outcomes. But not only that, and I know some of you are really interested, how do we reduce churn? How do we ensure the stickiness of our products inside our customer environments? And we'll demonstrate some of those technologies and how we in Teradata are using them as we go through tomorrow. Exciting times. So we really believe that it's not just about data. You have to operate in an entire ecosystem. The winners in the agentic AI space will be focused and enable all of you to utilize the best tools and capabilities that you want to use. And that's why we've built a really powerful ecosystem of technology, working with some of the world's best organizations. And it's highlighted by our partnerships. I pull up an example here of our partnership with NVIDIA. And it's not just a marketing partnership. It's an engineering and architectural partnership about how we are going to deliver a technology solution combining Teradata technologies and NVIDIA technologies. And that comes to life in our offering, our AI Factory. You know, the AI Factory was designed to combat what we call the impossible choice. You know, do you want innovation or do you want control? Do you want speed or do you want security? Do you want cloud flexibility or data sovereignty? And with our AI Factory approach, you don't have to make that choice because we built it on 3 fundamental principles. First of all, your data, your rules, your control. We also saw, if you think about that third aspect of AI solutions, you need predictable costs that you can control. And you also want to leverage investments that you might have already made in GPU infrastructure inside your environment. So Teradata's AI Factory integrates with the investments that you've already made to give you a very cost-predictable data platform to deliver the AI business outcomes that you want to get to. And then finally, innovation at speed. We are continuously adapting our technology and working with partners to ensure that you can use all of the data scientist tools that you want to, whether it's Jupyter Hub or Airflow or GitHub, even our very own ClearScape Analytics. You can deploy and utilize the tooling that you want to get the business outcomes that you need. And it's all done in the context of our partnerships. I think the most successful organizations won't own the entire AI stack. The winners are going to combine the best technologies. And a great example of that is how ServiceNow is creating an ecosystem to merge together fantastic data providers, and Teradata is one of those, to actually power these business outcomes. And I'd really like you all to help me welcome to the stage Gaurav Rivary, one of ServiceNow's most senior development executives, to talk about the partnership with Teradata. Please join me.
Hey, Steve.
Gaurav, good to see you. Thank you. As if by magic, chairs arrive.
Indeed.
I wish this happened at home. That would be much better. So Gaurav, welcome to the stage. Thanks for joining us. It's great to have you here. We really appreciate the partnership with ServiceNow, and it's been a few months since we announced that partnership.
Yeah.
But tell us what's going on with ServiceNow and how you see the partnership with Teradata. Exciting times.
Indeed. Thank you, Steve, and it's a pleasure to be here. So yeah, as you know, Teradata was a key part of the ServiceNow Workflow Data Network announcement in May this year, because together we can power agentic operations at scale. So I like to think of Teradata's deep enterprise-grade data and analytics as the brain. You know, it provides the ability to store information, interpret it, learn over time, and serve as a central processor for not just what's happening now, but what will happen next. On the other hand, ServiceNow's AI platform is like the nervous system of the enterprise, connecting the brain to every part of the business, interpreting data signals, taking action to execute tasks, sending alerts, performing closed-loop automation. So together, this makes AI agents smarter, faster, and better able to process information and take action. And so, you know, together we turn insights into workflow actions that actually result in true business value. And I like to also think that if this partnership is the brain and the nervous system, then our customers are the beating heart. But Steve, I promise you that that is as far as the anatomy metaphor will go.
I love the mental image. It's a great way to describe the partnership and how we can work together. And we're both working towards that agentic operations and workflows. Can you share with the audience here some of the key trends that you're seeing in the deployment of those AI-enabled workflows?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think, honestly, the biggest challenge that we're seeing, the biggest challenge, is that AI initiatives are failing because the data underneath isn't ready, And it's quite striking. Gartner predicts that through 26, 60% of AI projects will be abandoned due to a lack of AI-ready data. So if you don't fix your data first, your AI project won't end with a bang. It'll probably end with a performance review. So the good news, we like to think, is that ServiceNow is here to support organizations in getting their data ready for AI. And what does that mean? We've identified 3 key requirements, really. The first is a next-gen data infrastructure, starting with the foundation designed for AI. As Sumit said, AI that never sleeps, so you need that scalable infrastructure. The second is seamless data access. So the ability to access enterprise data regardless of where it lives. And then the third is data visibility and governance, making data consumable by both AI and people so you can trust it, it's fully secure and governed. ServiceNow provides solutions in all 3 areas and works closely with data platforms like Teradata, where enterprises have brought together their data to derive insights for decision making. So that's the story.
Yeah, it's an exciting time. From a Teradata perspective, we're seeing the combination of that data platform and technologies like ServiceNow that can totally transform the industry. So it's great to see that, Gaurav, in terms of how we're working together.
And, Steve, talking about data platforms, that's where Teradata really excels, right? Really shines, helping customers see more success in AI projects.
Yeah, and over the next 2 days, we are all going to hear from several companies that are seeing that success in the deployment of AI projects. And we're looking forward to the partnership with ServiceNow in terms of really deploying that in some of our joint customers. When we see the value of good governance, seamless data access, and getting that database infrastructure that you can rely on, it really enables us to demonstrate those agentic AI capabilities in action. It's a key to our partnership.
Indeed.
So, what's over the rest of today? What's going to come next? You're going to be here. The ServiceNow team is at our expo, ready to talk about the challenges you've outlined. But give us a little bit more detail about this, the workflow data fabric.
Yeah, sure. The workflow data fabric, Steve, is built around 3 pillars: connect, understand, and take action on any data. So in the connect pillar, we deliver seamless data access through capabilities like our Teradata zero-copy connector, which is available in private preview right now. That's the first. The understand pillar makes data visible, trusted, governed, and it gives both people and AI full transparency to that data. That's number 2. And then the third is take action. So data and insights from ServiceNow and external systems like Teradata are embedded directly into workflows to drive real-time business outcomes. With this approach, organizations can move from insight to action faster than ever, operationalizing data in real time and driving measurable results. So, let's make this real with an example. Unbilled shipments are a huge cost of revenue leakage for logistics companies. It results in millions of dollars of lost revenue. And the surprising thing is that the cause for this typically lies in the data where small errors like incorrect delivery reason codes, like the recipient wasn't there to receive it, like those kinds of errors lead to major business impact.
Yeah, it's a really common challenge that we see in the industry, and it's tricky to solve at scale because you have to integrate all sorts of data together. But Teradata can help organizations do the analytics behind that data to really pick up on those errors and integrate back into the ServiceNow platform. Super exciting.
Absolutely. And Workflow Data Fabric is designed to connect directly to governed data, Teradata, detect these billing exceptions in real time, and resolve them in the flow of work. So using this use case as an example, let me show you a demo of how ServiceNow and Teradata are working together to deliver real-time insights and action.
Electri is a logistics provider with over 2 billion shipments a year. But on a typical week, over 30,000 deliveries don't get billed. This incorrect data can cause hundreds of millions in lost revenue. This is where ServiceNow and Teradata combine to accelerate resolution. With Workflow Data Fabric and Teradata, Electri can solve a very expensive problem. Metin is logged into his personalized, data-enriched workspace. He immediately sees a spike in unbilled shipments that needs his review. Drilling into granular data held on Teradata using Zero Copy, he finds over 36,000 unbilled shipments costing $1.4 million in lost revenue from last week alone, with many missing a reason code. Now, instead of jumping between systems, he can uncover insights right in the flow of his work with natural language. And by leveraging analytics and ML models deployed in Teradata Vantage, Metin can take action in ServiceNow to fix issues based on common patterns for missing codes. With one click, he can classify shipments with the right reason code. This is Metin's new AI-powered ServiceNow world, a single entry point to all the data, analytics, and AI agents he needs to resolve billing exceptions at scale, saving Electri millions in lost revenue. This is the power of ServiceNow and Teradata, working together to help customers connect, understand, and take action on any data.
Got a round of applause. What a great demo.
Indeed.
So that's awesome. And it really showcases that single UI to access all of that trusted data for root cause analytics, bringing it all together, having a human in the loop to power the decision-making and empower decision-making. And it really does showcase how Teradata integrated into ServiceNow's Workflow Data Fabric can make a real difference.
Absolutely. And what used to take days or weeks of reconciliation can now be handled in sheer minutes. So that's why we're so excited about our partnership with Teradata. And together we're accelerating the impact of AI-ready data and powering business transformation as a result.
Absolutely fantastic. We're really pleased with the partnership with ServiceNow. Gaurav, thank you for joining us on stage.
Pleasure.
And
Thank
have
you.
a great rest of the event.
Thank you
so much. So we have a point of view in Teradata about how you all can actually deploy these technologies inside your organizations and overcome some real challenges. We've come up with the concept of intelligence frameworks for the autonomous enterprise. And it's really designed to overcome 5 challenges in deployment of these solutions. Because what we see with our customers is data is fragmented and split across the entire organization, a challenge that Teradata has helped companies overcome for years and years. We also see journey friction from a customer experience transformation perspective. That's making sure that every event that happens inside the ecosystem is handled as optimally as possible. We also see organizations with real-time blindness. Some of our competitive offers in the marketplace still rely on batch processing or looking at data in arrears. We actually see the need to process that data real-time, accurately, all the time. Also, tool chaos. Everybody's got their most favorite tool to bring to the party. When we operate within a framework and an architecture, you can actually work out what goes where. You start to tear down AI silos and get to the solutions that you like. So I've got a very detailed chart that I'm going to show you. So my apologies if you're in the back of the room, but I'm going to take you through it step by step. This is our customer intelligence framework. It transforms how organizations move from passive data collection to active signal detection. And let me take you through it step by step. It delivers a real competitive advantage at autonomous scale. It starts off with integrating multi-structured, multi-dimensional data together. It may be behavioral data, transactional data, contextual data, integrating all of that together so that you get a good understanding and build a great data foundation. Next, it generates AI-ready formats, supports scalable model execution, and signal arbitration. This isn't just data warehousing anymore. This is all about delivering customer intelligence. And then finally, at the heart of this customer intelligence framework is a real-time activation engine. This operationalizes customer signals and can use technologies like ServiceNow to generate those signals and workflows inside the customer environment to get real-time responsiveness to events that are happening in your company right away. So our customer intelligence framework is essentially a point of view that we have that we will work with you to implement so that we can deliver that reliably and effectively every single time. We're also looking at how we can power that customer intelligence frameworks with agents. Agents that do a lot of things that you all think about every single day. Agents that are going to prepare multidimensional data and industry data models and schemas. Agents that are going to automate the construction of data products. Agents that dynamically optimize workflows. Agents that interpret those signals and act autonomously to execute workflows inside the organization. And this customer intelligence framework, I think, is just the start. You can see how, and Gaurav pointed to a demonstration of how you can have a supply chain framework, a business operations framework, so that you in real time can look at what's going on inside your organization and redefine business processes, redefine how your company operates. It's an exciting time, and it's all powered by Teradata and our knowledge frameworks and our industry data models. Super exciting times. But I know some of the challenges that you all have in terms of deploying these solutions. So together with our partners, we're announcing a set of AI services that will come and work with you to deploy these technologies. We'll augment the skills and capabilities that you have with our Teradata team and our partners throughout the world to really deliver these promises of value. This is all about generating business outcomes. You know, the basics don't change for us. You have to have great data governance. You have to be able to meet regulatory requirements. You might have to keep some data on-premise. You might need to have a deployment that's hybrid in nature. Teradata is uniquely placed to deliver these solutions to you. And we're super excited because we believe that we can help all of you successfully navigate that AI paradox. Get the most from your investment. Get it into production. Get the business outcomes that you want. Teradata is the best knowledge platform on the planet to deliver those business outcomes for you. So let's get out there and build it together, because the future belongs to the builders in this audience. And you're going to see us building solutions right in front of you as we go through the next couple of days. So let's build it together, because if we build it together, we can win together in the marketplace. I'm looking forward to talking to you all over the next couple of days. Thank you very much.